Here's my audience. 3, 5. So, how many of you guys are currently paying like e-bills for your tuition or room and board? Okay, so 2 of you guys are. Okay, so before choosing to come to Ball State University, I decided to look at all the schools I was accepted at and look at their cost of attendance. The one thing that popped out to me was the tuition cost. Oh my gosh, tuition is high here in Indiana, especially. I looked around the state. Ball State's like one of the more cheaper schools for tuition wise. So, yeah, it's kind of high. That's like a big issue for higher education. So today I'm going to give a speech over rising tuition costs in the United States. So, there are many issues with colleges. Some of these things include dormitories, food, finances, etc. The biggest issue is tuition costs. Students are paying thousands of dollars for classes, such as core classes such as English, math, social studies, etc. Students are not only worried about tuition, but they're also paying thousands for room and board. Tuition is the money students pay for classes and our instruction at colleges and universities. Some students might wonder, what classes are they paying for? Freshmen are required to complete many core classes during the first year. Core classes are classes like English, math, history, etc. Core classes are sometimes the classes that deal with the student's major. Many times, these classes are here to help students who might not be prepared for the actual major classes. For those students who are prepared, many see the classes as a waste of time and money. These students feel like, why are they paying for classes that they most likely took in high school? Because of this, students are most likely paying for nothing. The solution to this problem that would please students, administrators, and professors would be to give students the opportunity to pay to test out core classes. By doing this, students will save not only time, but they'll also save money. Before, it was typical for students to graduate in 4 years, but that's not the case today. Some students are able to graduate from college in 3 years, but in some cases, students are able to graduate in 2 years. Many people think it's a good idea to earn a degree in 3. Examples of schools participating in these programs can be found in the article, Why College Shouldn't Take 4 Years. This article is written by Lamar Alexander and can be found in Newsweek. This article talks about how students can earn a degree in 3 years. The article starts out by talking about the costs to attend college. It then begins to talk about the automobile industry in Detroit during the 1960s. It then goes on to talk about the troubles the automobile industry had faced. The article compares the industry to American colleges. Alexander gives examples as to why some of the issues college face that contributes to the rising cost of tuition. These examples include tenure, state funding. The article then goes on to discuss how colleges are introducing the program Degree in 3. The list of colleges participating in this program even includes our own university, Ball State. By having students able to attain a degree in 3 years instead of 4, colleges can make up for lost money. A lot of money is lost in the summer due to the fact that many college campuses are empty. Because of this, schools still have to pay to keep the buildings in top condition. Students that complete a degree in 3 years will most likely have to take classes over the summer. I agree with this article because I think a degree in 3 years will help students save time and money. Not only will this help students out, it also helps colleges out. Colleges are not losing any money. Colleges are still making money year-round. Colleges are making money still because to graduate in 3 years, you have to take classes in the summer. Most students do, anyways. But students will have to pay tuition fees and sometimes room and board fees if those students chose to stay on campus during this time. One of the other, a big issue in higher education today is the rise in tuition costs. As I said before, years before, tuition was not as big of an issue. This is not the case today. In the article, The Debt Crisis in Higher Education brings up major issues with tuition and how some solutions are not going to actually solve this crisis. This article can be found in Time. This article features 4 different authors. Each of these authors are unique, being that they all come from different backgrounds. Jean D. Block is the chancellor of UCLA. Thomas Harkin is a U.S. Senator from Iowa. Hunter Rawlings is the president of the Association of American Universities. And Walter Bummis is the president and CEO of the American Association of Community Colleges. Each of these authors gives their opinion on how they would solve the rising costs in higher education. This article talked about the many problems with higher education. They stated some solutions, but they didn't go into great detail on how to solve this problem. Like, for example, Rawlings talked about public research institutions. He talks about how there's little state funding for many of these universities. He even states that even more funding is going to be taken away. He also states that only the President and Congress can stop this from happening. So there's really no solution stated in there. Looking back at previous years, increasing tuition was not as big of an issue like it is now. In the article Tuition at American Colleges Rose Moderately, it discusses the rise of tuition in the years 2007-2008. This article is written by David DeBolt and can be found in the Chronicle of Higher Education. This article starts off by stating the average tuition for college in America. It goes on to state how tuition increased from 5.3% in 2005 to 2006. The article compares the rate of tuition increase for private and public universities. The article closes with reasons why tuitions have increased and how colleges and universities are trying to keep tuition as low as possible. I like this article because it shows how tuition was like in previous years. It gave examples on how tuition has risen. The only thing I did not like about this article was that it did not give exact reasons as to why there was a tuition increase. The article simply only states ways that tuition rose and only by a few percent points. There are many issues concerning higher education, the biggest being rising tuition. For this issue, there's a simple solution. The solution to pleasing students, administrators, and professors would be to give students opportunity to taste out of their core classes that they don't need, or just classes that they think they'll get a good grade in. So they should do that. And then I chose to look at tuition here at Ball State. In the years 2013 to 2014, tuition was only, I want to say $7,000. It was $7,300, basically. And then like last year, from 2014 to 2015, tuition rose to $7,500, I want to say. And then this year, the tuition is $7,700. So yeah, it's slowly increasing, which is a problem because many students can't afford to study here if they wanted to. So I think that the tuition issue should be fixed. So today I told you guys about the rising issues in education, which is rising tuition. So I talked about 3 different articles, and then I talked about Ball State's own tuition problem. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.